Hey there, boys, girls, YouTube world. Today, the Duff dog, the Daisy dog, Chin and I are up here by the big city Air, North Dakota. It's pretty much an elevator. Really nice elevator with a couple of houses. And scrap guy gave us a call and said, hey, there's some stuff out here you might be interested in. Send me some pictures. There's a 55 Chevy 4-door sedan, a 55 Chevy race car, 66 Impala on its roof, and a Cadillac 2-door. So we jump in the rollback. Chin's got the white 06 Dodge, and we're gonna see if we can't get some stuff drug out of here. Kind of been in here cleaning out, hauling scrap. We're gonna try not to get some flat tires. Stuff's gonna run through the mud and check for nails, and then yeah, get out of here. So there's some like dune buggy, little shortened frame dealios. There's that 65, yeah, 65 Impala 2-door hardtop on its roof. That's got a 12 bolt in it. It's not a torque thrust, but it's a magster. We're gonna grab that 5-spoke. There's another one in there. There's this 75 6 Caddy 2-door, last tagged in like 81 or 82. And then there's a bunch of iron back in here, woven wire, just scrap iron. I think that's just like a hay rack, a hay bister hay rack, bunch of farm equipment, plows and discs and diggers and corn pickers and you name it. I think that's Minneapolis Moline something or other, Thrasher maybe. There's the 58 Nomad, and there's the 55 4-door posted in the trees. It's like a, what is that, a F12 Farmall back in there, F10. There's a 62 Chevy Wagon on its side, but it is junk. Everything's junk. There's a couple pieces, that's it. And there's the race car up there. We gotta try to sneak this 55 out of here very carefully. The 55 sedan looks like the toughest to get out of here, so we're gonna try that one first. Oh, brand new saw for us to break? What a deal. What do we got for trees here? I think there's one going through the trunk. That one. We might have to trim that one a bit that's against it. We don't have to pull it very far and it'll come off it. So I think we can pretty much sneak her right out of there once we trim this one off. All right, one down, couple to go. This thing makes life real easy. Somebody said to get these cafeteria plates, but we're still learning how to use them, right, Duff? And Chin's donating them to landowners. God dang kids, tell you what, I think these things were like $4 a piece. Somebody wanted us to steal them. 16 by 12 cafe tray. It rhymes. Alrighty. Yeah, real slick. Now I guess we're gonna get that 58 wagon. That caddy should be easy money getting out of here, so let's get this one done. Well, we got the big equipment, right, Duff? He found a pile of decaying, rotten grain over there, and that has been his friend. Wonder if we shouldn't pull this one out backwards. We're definitely not worried about schmucking up the front end, that's for sure. That's been pre-schmucked. Oh, sore the hood hinges. I don't even know if there's a frame underneath the front end. I think, is there a frame underneath that? Is that what they made those go-karts out of? Was the frame out of this and they pushed it out here?
There's definitely not a frame under there.
Ooh. This will be fun. So maybe, God, we still gotta have something to hook on it. So we get underneath with the rollback and lift it up, but we still gotta have something to pull on. Is there any frame back here? Better save that stainless. Is there a door that opens? We can put that in. Here. There you go. Saving them all. What's in there? Oh, old cast iron power glide. Yep, no frame. Hey, guess what? She's a Nomad. Nice load of crap right there. Alright, first load done, huh, Duff? Nobody died. Oh, he's finding more junk back there. Instead of wood-wheeled truck chassis. We'll come back. Caddy should be a cakewalk, huh, Duff? Just back around the corner and scoop her up. It is missing a rear wheel, but probably 2 wheels. Shouldn't be too bad though, eh? Grab our Magster wheel. There's a 2-door seat in that car we might eyeball, and the 12 bolt, and see how hard that is to get out of there. Well, we made her home. I don't know if you guys can see this, but it is a freaking dust bowl out here. You ready to get out and run around? All right, we snagged up the bumpers. The Rushmore Cafe near Rushmore Memorial, South Dakota. They're pretty rough, but they're pieces. This thing was a pretty sharp car. 2-tone, obviously. There's some trim left on it. Let's see what's inside. Looks like 64, 65 they were at North Dakota University, UND. They were the Fighting Sioux back then. Now they're the Fighting Hawks. Yeah. But that's about all she is some pieces. All right, I'm gonna get this unloaded and then we're gonna go grab another one. Grab the Caddy. There's a couple of cast iron power glides in the back, but there was one aluminum one. So DB is gonna overhaul that real quick with his sandals.
Yes, sir.
He's like the short pant version of I Have a Classic Car Ryan. The khaki bandit.
That's how you get a roll right there, guys. A BFH and a lot of force.
He'd be wearing the full-on khakis, but he got that sweet new tattoo. Richard! Who's Richard anyway? Oh, at least he didn't say it was your lover or something. Looks like this thing's been off the road since 71. How many years is that? It's 44. You're wrong. 54. Duff says, I like it. Get in there real nice and deep like.
That's it, boy. Get in there nice and deep like.
All right, we're back for trip number 2. Get a rear end. Check out these tires that were over here. The old torque twister. Posi traction. Sounds like something them Okies would say. And then we got the Firestone 500s. Looks like it should have been a double white line, but somebody made it into a triple. Yeah, that's cool. The old torque twister. Posi traction. She's a little rusty. He said it was his sister's boyfriend, and it got left here on the property almost 40 years ago. So let's get this thing drug out of here. Vinyl top, so it's rusty up there. She's been sitting a couple of days. Of course, they drug something against it when they're hauling scrap out of here, but at least they saved it for us. All right, we're gonna get the rollback hooked up to this thing and get her out of here. Get her to the shop. Here it is, 65 Impala, 2-door hardtop, of course, factory air car, but it's got a 12 volt. And like literally the only thing left holding it in is that sway bar and this trailing arm. Somebody already started cutting the rest, so let's see if we can finish what they were started. No, it's up here, Duff. Look at this. Seat's still in it, factory air, no tilt. Probably had a big block. No power windows. She's a good one. Was. Ah, the beauty of cordless tools. Yes, park brake cables. We love cutting those.
I got hot knives to water.
Somebody needs to tell Milwaukee to sponsor us. And hard bar. Oh no, we should have cut that ahead of the springs. We still can, maybe. Somebody had already cut the uppers. I'm guessing they didn't get the brake hose. We'll get that for them though. And the reason we're getting this is because it's 12 volt. Most cars had a 10 volt. Your worthless information of the day. Might as well get the chiropractor appointment scheduled on the ride home. All right. Hopefully we can get the rollback backed over here and not have to carry it. In and out. Good old 5 minutes. The 2 pumped up. All right. Oh, we lost another hubcap. Or was that the one that fell off the top? Anyway, I'm gonna try to shift it over just a hair. Just a hair. Maybe we'll cut that tailpipe off. Maybe we won't. That dirt will just fall off before we get out of the yard or before I finish my sentence. That rollback is a champ though, huh, Duff? It's the devil, that's for sure. All right, I'm gonna do a little bit of jockeying around on here. Ooh, that's a nice railroad tie. Somebody must have needed the rear tires. What else are we leaving behind? Some trim. We don't need that. We don't need that Gwinner combine either. All right, move her over a little bit and we'll be on our merry way. I'm gonna grab that hubcap too. Duff, you wanna reach up? Grab that for me? Oh, you don't fetch hubcaps, you just open hoods? All right, well, thanks. This is a long car. We got our 12 volts wedged into our winch motor and we're still hanging off a couple feet. And haven't determined if we're taking the rear frame and bumper with us or not. I feel like that's not supposed to be that way. Whoops. All right, made her home. Wind's still blowing. We're gonna lift this thing up with the telehandler once we undo that strap and try to find some 5-on-5 wheels. Get this thing rolling so we can get her off the trailer. How's it look, Duff? Checking her out? Yeah, that frame looks like she's no good, huh, boss? No bueno. Good work, Duff. Couldn't have done it without you. Tech tip of the day. 14-inch 5-on-5 lug wheels off of, like, say, you know, a 59 Pontiac or a 63 Pontiac Grand Prix don't fit on these cars. They don't clear the calipers. They do touch the brake drums, but they'll still turn. All of the wheels turn. Look at this. Fix the frame. Oh yeah, that ain't going nowhere.
He's going nowhere. Where you going? Nowhere.
She's good to go. We just need the filler panel in there and she's set. Never mind the lack of tread, because it matches the lack of frame rail on this thing. Woo! Woo! Pretty bad. But I think we're ready to dump it off the trailer anyway. Hopefully the engine is phenomenal, because the rest of the car is definitely phenomenal. Not so much? Yeah, not so much. Oh yeah, we did a exhaust delete kit on her as well. Somebody's been in there. That's 2.5-inch pipe. Oh, that's big dog stuff. She's a 500 Duff. She's got to breathe. No, don't you try to suck start. Don't suck start the Cadillac. Like, are you gonna suck the mice out of that tailpipe? Just breathe it all in. I have no idea what is wrong with that dog, but I'm pretty sure he just suck started this thing. Yeah, you probably dated a girl that could do that in high school. That's only for Mercury's. What old DB do here, Duff? You didn't get the dents or the rust out, but a lot of good trim on this thing. I'm sure there's other pieces here as well. Ooh, factory padded dash. She's a little teetery here. The old Nomad. Yeah, tinted glass. That's pretty cool. Single tail light on the old Nomad. I don't know, maybe all the wagons just had the single tail light. This upper tailgate's good shape. Lower tailgate, not so much. We did find a couple of these spears for the trunk lid inside the car. Well, I set them inside the car. We found them laying in the dirt. Yeah. But the old Chin had really got a suggestion here. He says, use that front end, make a wall hanger out of it. And I was like, that thing's wasted. So I think what happened was they took the frame out and they made like this little, they shortened it up, made a dune buggy thing, and it never got finished. But anyway, they took that out, and then to get this thing out into the trees, I think they just pushed against it with a front end loader, and there's not much structure there, obviously. There's nothing to tie onto to drag it, so they folded the front end under. But it's not in bad shape. Ooh, factory power brake car. I think it was a factory power steering ram assist we saw on that frame that was in the trees as well. And you could tell it was a 58 by the wishbone for the upper control arm. Right, Duff? 58 guys know what I'm talking about. But anyway, this front end is, I mean, it's not good. but it's good enough to hang on the wall. She's rusty in the eyebrows and missing the headlight surrounds. We can get those out of another car. But I mean, the grill's kind of presentable. The floors are rotten. Probably shouldn't be standing under here. It's probably gonna tip over backwards when we cut the front end off though, on Duff. But I figure if we just mow through about here, the hood is kinked. So I mean, it would be a usable hood. But yeah, we just mow through it, kind of whack it with a hammer, you know, use the old English stump, straighten her out a bit, and tack it together. Hang it on the wall, be pretty cool shop art. 58 front ends are good looking front ends, right, Duff? He's like, it smells like poop in there. That means there's an animal, so I'm all about it. Anyway, got the Sawzall out and the death wheel. I'm gonna go grab some earplugs and some gloves. We're gonna have all the PPE. I got my safety shoes on and my safety shorts, Dickies. Let's get this front end cut off. Probably should have 2 people. I got me and a dog though. It's the worst that happens. What do you think, Duff? Sawzall? Death wheel. So good at bending Sawzall blade. You're right, let's start with that. Bend a blade and get angry and you can say I told you so. Good call. This line is gonna be crookeder than most politicians. What's gonna happen? It's gonna fall on the ground. And what wasn't broke before is gonna be broken now. Such is life. Ooh, that's real jagged. Maybe if I lay underneath it. Trick tip of the day, don't push your car around without a frame under it with your front end loader. Maybe I can catch it. Maybe let's cut those wires for the headlights and park lights. Apparently the nerd herd is not allowed to have side cutters in their toolbox, so we stole Mojo's. We'll leave the connectors on there, so if we really want to get crazy and hook the lights up, we can. But we won't. Let's be honest. We don't ever finish anything around here anyway. Probably could have just unplugged that from the firewall. Yep. Wanna come hang on to this stuff or run the Sawzall maybe? Okay, don't worry, I got it. So close. Got it. Uh-oh, breeze is coming up. Storm's coming in. It's so windy here all the time. All right, let's mow the hood off and huck this thing back in the trees. Maybe let's close some doors so everything don't blow off the walls. For cheese and rice, it was a beautiful afternoon until it wasn't. This hood whacked off.
Kids that have been whacking off in my tool shed.
It's gonna take a little bit of doing, but I think if we push that fender in and find a couple headlight surrounds, maybe some crappy old T3 headlights, and we'll have to tack it all together, make a bracket to hang it, and something for the bumper. It's gonna have to be stout because this thing's gonna be a little heavy and awkward, like me. But we didn't really waste anything. That hood would probably be simple, but I don't think 58 hoods are like gold. That grill is tweaked. And all that stuff can be reused other than the fenders and inner fenders and hood. That's supposed to be reused. Great. So yeah, this thing was going to be scrap. It still might be, but we kind of saved it. We'll use some pieces, make a wall hanger, or sell it to somebody else to make a wall hanger. That's what it's all about. All right, I'm going to put some tools away. We're going to figure out what we're going to do next with all this junk. Now we got 58 off the telehandler. We threw it up on a dirt pile out back because it's out of the way. But we got telehandler here so that we can lift this 12 bolt out of this 65 Impala up in the air so we can work on it. And let's pull the diff cover off and see if she's a limited slip and what kind of shape it's in and what kind of gear ratio it is, right? So then we know what we got. Maybe there's a market for it. Maybe somebody really needs it because I don't, but couldn't let it go to scrap. And we should be able to tip this thing 90 degrees from where it usually sits and not lose any grease. I'm guessing since this car's set upside down, there's probably not much grease left in it. What are you guessing, Duff? 308, open? I'm gonna say that. Duff thinks that they're 373 positive. I hope Duff's right. We'll take any Posi, or limited slip, or shoe track, or whatever you want to call it. Or better yet, just don't be super rusty. But that's what we'll get, super rusty. Ooh, not super rusty. It's got oil in it. Looks like she's an open. And the brakes are seized, so we can't turn it over. Oh, but the marks are right there. What is the tooth count? 9 of 64. So September 64 she was built. GM part number 3862689. 43 on the ring gear, 13 on the pinion. And what does that equate to? 308 most likely, right? Get our math and machine out here. 43 divided by 13. 331s. Not bad. We met in the middle. So you can see 9 of 64. There's our tooth count, 1343. There's our part number. What a quinky dink that was pointing straight up. The grease looks, I mean, it's better than water. And it ain't all rusty in there. So, and the way that it should have been sitting was that side would have been in the water. But looks pretty good. I think it would clean up. Oh, never mind. Them spiders are a little chewed up. But anyway, we know what we got. Carrier is whatever size that is to put 331 gears. Not a terrible ratio. Actually, a 331 is a pretty good gear ratio. You could put an overdrive in front of it if you really wanted to, but it'd be a pretty good highway gear and still have a little get up and go out of the hole. So now I'm going to put this cover back on it and we will tag it and bag it. We'll put 65 Chevrolet Impala 12 bolt 331 gear ratio open, and we'll put the date and probably where it come from so that rings a bell. Anyway, 331 65 Chevrolet full size Impala 12 bolt. All right, we'll get everything all filed away, Duff. Somebody would have put the tag on last time when they had it open, we wouldn't have had to take this apart because there would have been a tag telling us what this ratio is. Got a nice little metal tag on it. Well, that holds up. We got it written on there. Should be good to go. What's next? What are we doing with all this junk, Duff? Hey, I got like 40 rear ends out back, probably closer to 50 now, because we picked up 2 on this sale. If you got a good idea for storing these things, a storage rack for differentials, and got some pictures, better yet, let us know. I got a couple of A-frame type things I made out of truck frames years ago, and they're not that great. Like a cantilever type style setup would be sweet, but I don't want to spend a bunch of money doing it. Anyway, get them off the ground so they're visible and they're out of the dirt and the water and the mud. And you can organize them. Yeah. Let us know what you got. Hit us up, mortskerepair@gmail.com. Differential storage rack. We need to know. Don't we, Duff? We need to know what to do. You're so much help. All right, next on the differential list. Let's show you this one. I don't think we showed it when we were walking around. This thing was just laying loose. So you can see it's got these crappily added leaf spring mounts, and you can see it's got our panhard bar mount, and this was a 3rd member mount, so it was out of a 4-link car. This is a 55 to 64 Chevy differential. You can tell by the way that it is.
This is an Aspen. You can tell that it's an Aspen tree because of the way it is.
Because it doesn't have a bolt-on rear cover. It's got a drop-in center section. 54 and earlier had a torque tube, so no exposed drive line, and 65 and newer is like the one we just showed. Well, that was a 65. Got a bolt-on rear cover. 55 through 57 have leaf springs, like they were probably trying to swap this into, but you can see how crudely that's done, and they cut off the brackets and then the panhard mount, and then this would be the third member. So we know that this is for 58's got like this weird banana yoke looking thing that I was talking about when we were talking about the wagon, and then the 59 to 64 have just like a 3-link setup. Anyway, here's the neat part about this one. It's got some cute little drive shaft in it that is not stock. You see that little P right there? That means, geez, a P case. And you want a case of the P's. So this should be a Posi, but we're gonna open up and see. The axles were laying loose there. This thing is sticky-ish. It might be good, might not be good. Anyway, these Posis are good property. Let's get this terrible piece of crap drive shaft off of it, and then we'll take these bolts out and we'll try to get this center section out of there, and we'll see if it's actually a Posi and what gear ratio it is. And if it is a Posi, that was the best score of the whole deal. Right now, the 12 bolt is the best score of the whole deal because the wagon is pretty chewy. The 55 ain't bad, and the Cadillac is an absolute rust bucket. I would have never guessed that. That thing's gonna fall right out of there. How rusty, crusty is it gonna be? Oh, not too bad. Not too bad. Little mouse nesty. But she's a Posi. Woo! 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 What the odds are? Ring and pinion count is legible right here. Not very good. It does look like it needs a new ring and pinion. She's a little pitted up. I'm sure it's gonna need a rebuild. What's it saying there? What are you? 2RD462. So I don't know. Maybe she's a 62 model. Let's go put it in the vise and see what happens. All right, I don't know. I ain't smart, but I'm ambitious. What's that say? Atlas steel? Arma steel. Let's see if we can't get her to turn. See what happens. I suppose I could have put a pipe wrench on it in the diff, but I'm so strong I'd have just spun everything. Oh. Come on. Maybe if we'd have blown all the crap out of there, it would have helped. I'm gonna do a little wire wheel action maybe and see if we can see a number. That would be my luck. I would turn it all the way over and the numbers would have been right where we were at the beginning. I'm gonna say this one's gonna be like a 355. No marks yet. There you go. Forest 62. April 62, 11:37. So what's that? 3:30 again? Sure enough. 336 Posi. I'm guessing this coming to that 62 wagon. So yeah. We'll label that. We'll just save the center section because obviously that housing is wasted the way everything's cut off and cobbled together and mouse nest in it. This actually isn't as bad as I thought. I think it definitely needs a ring gear. And okay, it needs rebuilt, but she's a Posi case and a Posi carrier, so we got that going for us. And she turns. It's always a plus. All right, there you have it. I'm gonna clean up the mess in the shop here. Like I said, I'm gonna tag and bag that 336 Posi. We got ourselves a 12 bolt for a 65 Impala. We got a 336 Posi. We got some 55 Chevy parts, 58 Wagon parts. Hopefully that car's gonna go away. I got a buddy who's into 58s and he'll probably end up with it. And a really, really, really rusty Cadillac that we'll try to do a wheel it run on. Oh, and some Magster wheels. So There you have it. This is kind of something we do once in a while. Pick up some junk. It's literally junk, but we get a couple pieces out of it. It's like an hour and a half away. 3 trips there. All this time and pulling it. Fuel. We're into this stuff pretty deep. If you see anything that you absolutely can't live without, hit us at mortskerepair@gmail.com. You're going to have to come to Podunk, North Dakota to get it because I'm not interested in shipping anything or removing it for the most part, unless you're paying an Uber premium, because Chin and Mojo and I and DB, when he decides to come to work, are plenty busy around here. It's 7:15 on Friday night and I'm still plugging away out here so that I can hopefully jump on a plane at 6 o'clock tomorrow morning. And I got more to do yet. So, all right, thank you very much for watching. We appreciate all you guys. Without you watching and supporting and buying the merch at mortske.com, go check out the merch. We got gasket scrapers, we got coolers, we got koozies, we got magnetic screwdrivers, shirts, caps, banners, you name it, we got it. Without you folks doing that stuff, buying that stuff, watching this stuff, I wouldn't be able to have a rollback and a telehandler in this shop and everything else. So thank you very much. I am literally living the dream, and I don't mind working past 7 on Fridays. In fact, I've been doing this well before the YouTube thing, and that's what got me here. So hard work and persistence pays off. So yeah, if you're thinking about starting a YouTube channel, it is a lot of work, but it's rewarding. Go ahead and do it. So again, thank you very much from the bottom of my heart and Duff's. Remember, it doesn't matter how you get it done, as long as you're having fun. Dragging junk home is, it's a lot of work, but it's fun. All right, on to the next one.